Hello guys, hello everyone. Let me see my screen. So welcome all to DevOps 100 Days of DevOps Challenge. We are at day 18. So in this day, what we have to do is we have to configure LAMP server. LAMP server, what I have asked in the previous video, what is LAMP? It is Linux, L for Linux, A for Apache, M for MariaDB, and P for PHP. This is the form for LAMP server. So it's a LAMP stack. It's based on the LAMP stack. Let's first see what we have to do in this challenge. Let's first read the question statement, which is X Fusion of Industry is planning to host a WordPress website on their WordPress is whole completely written in PHP. That's why it's a LAMP stack. So we have to host a WordPress website on their infra in Stratos data center. Okay, so they have already done infrastructure config. For example, on the storage server, they already have a shared directory VAW. Okay, that is mounted on each app host under bare www.html. Okay, this is infrastructure configuration directory. Okay, so we have to perform the steps. What we have to perform? These five steps we have to perform. Number one, we have to install HTTPD, we have to install PHP and its dependency on all hosts. Apache should serve on port 3003 within the apps. Install configure MariaDB on DB server. Okay, so there is a database server we know. I remember that. We have to install and configure MariaDB at the set server. Okay. Then we have to create a database named KodeKloud DBs and create a database user named KodeKloud game. Guys, this is same. This is same as day 17. What we have set up at the PostgreSQL. This is same as day 17 task. Again in MariaDB we have to create this database name and create this, and we have to give the privileges also. I think. Finally, we have to create a user and perform all operation on the database you created. We have to grant the full privilege. And finally, you should be able to access the website on LBR link by clicking load balancer link. LBR is load balancer. Guys. By clicking on the app button on the top bar, you should see a message. The app is able to connect to the database using user KodeKloud. In app button is where okay. This is the app. So right now, if I click on this, it says 503 service unavailable. No server is available to help. Instead of this, it should say that app is able to connect to the database using user KodeKloud name. Okay. So what we will do actually, if it is written here that we have to install this HTTP and dependency on all app host, what I have told you, if there is all app host, there are three app servers here basically. If you can see the details of user, in the details tab you can see there are three app hosts. Nautilus app 1, app 2 and app 3. And this is Nautilus load balancers. Okay. So in all these three app hosts we have to install. Since all is there, definitely we will use definitely we are going to use Ansible. Let's start with our Ansible. So I see, guys. This task I will perform with the two. I will take the help of Ansible, and on one server I will perform it by myself also manually. Okay, so in this video you will get an idea of everything how we can perform. Let first create the inventory file. So let's first create the inventory dot ini same file which we create used to create always. Let's first create that inventory file for all, which is basically the database server and app server. So this is the file. This is the app server complete details, and this is the database server and Ansible host, which we can directly take it from the infrastructure details. This is the three app servers, and this is the date. There is a database. Yeah, this is the database. which I have defined it here. Let's save this file. Okay, so it is created. Now what we have to, yeah, it's created, and I'm saving the file, and this is created. Okay, so let's first do the task manually. I will explain you how we can do it manually. So for doing this task manually, what we have to do? Firstly, let's understand the question part. What is saying? See, basically, what we have to do, we have to work on three app servers and one database server, and we have to share that mount is at via www.html, which is the basically the what we say Nginx is running kind of this thing here. This is a Apache port, which is load balancer will access the port on 3003. From 3003 port, load balancer will access this. So firstly, what we have to do, we have to install Apache. So the shortcut what we have to do is to, for installing Apache, what we do actually, we have to install Apache on all the app servers, and this is what, this is the database. Oh, sorry, this is the jump host part. This is not an app server. So for installing, we can simply use yum install http php. This all we have to install it. You can install it here also, but this will not complete our task actually. I'm just trying to see that all, like what we have to do. Just I am trying to check it out here. And then what this is currently installing. Then what we have to do is we have to edit the Apache config file by using sudo. We have to edit the Apache config file, and that Apache config file we have to let's do one thing first. Let's go to app server. Okay, let me show you to do this to the app server only. If time permits, then we can do it. Let's first install it here. Let's first log into the app server. SSH and no, sorry, what is the first? Oh, let's go into banner. And this is my favorite app server. It's W3. Yes, we want to continue. Password for banner. Okay, so we are at login at the app server 3. Let's repeat that task. We have to install the Apache. Firstly, we have to install the EC. Sudo yum install, and password we have to put the password for banner, and yeah, now it has started the installation part of the thing. Like the first part we are doing on, this is for only one app server I am going to tell you. Otherwise I will just automate this task. Okay, so yeah, let's go fast because the time is not that much. And then we have to edit the Apache config file. Why we are editing the port? Because the port, Apache should serve on port 3003. Apache basically listens default on listen port 80, but we have to serve the port on 3003. So just we have to change the config. Here in the config you can see we have to change the listen 80. You can see. Yeah, you can see here listen 80. What we have to change, we have to change this listen 80, and then we have to change to port 3003, and just save and exit. Okay, after this what we have to do, we have to update the firewall if applicable. I think if the firewall application is not here, so it's of no use, I think. Yeah, firewall is not here. So what I have changed, and now I have to enable the Apache with systemctl. Is Apache is running? Yes, Apache is running. I think, yeah, Apache is running and started the Apache. And if I test this, that Apache is running or not, you can see the it's firstly is unequivocal. What, like I have changed the config file. Like I have changed the port to 3003 or not, because it should have expired. should come. Why I am not getting it? Just to be okay. Oh yes, yes. This is not Lucas, I think. Yeah, that's why it's not connecting. Otherwise, it may be a security reason. And then what we have to do? We have to install the MariaDB server. On the database server, we have to install MariaDB, and then just the same thing which I have already explained you in the Postgres part. We have to log into the and create a database and user with the full privileges, and then the task will be over. See now. And one more thing that we have to add a simple test page also on app host which is mounted. So since we the web directory is mounted on NFS, so CD we are www.html. This you can see here, it is mounted on this port. So at this port we have to add a PHP page. So where the server name and like username and password you will get it from here by signing it with the help of this user, and then we have to connect it using the database, and then we have to restart. This is the complete manual process which we have to do in all the three observer. Let me automate this task. Let's first exit this server experiment, and we are at the jump post. We have already created our inventory.ini file, and let's create the playbook. Then let's create the playbook, or let me first create the commands.sh. What you want? Okay, let's first create the command.sh because playbook we will execute only through that. Let's create the commands.sh file. So we have commands.sh. What we have to put it here is that we have to install the npm release and ansible, and then we will run the inventory file. I think there is no need to use this vi. Why? Then we will just run the playbook inventory.ini playbook.yaml using the inventory.ini credentials which are specified on this. Let's first save it, and now the most important part comes here. We are going to write our playbook. Just a second, I think I have forgot to give the permission, executable permission to commands.exe. Guys, this is very important because we have to execute this. So is done, I think. Yeah, let's create the most important part of Ansible and this challenge playbook. Yeah, what we will write in this playbook, which is very important thing. So for this playbook, what I am going to write is this. I will explain you the complete playbook is this. Okay, let's understand the playbook from the beginning. What we have to do. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to configure the database server here, and we have to install the Python MySQL or what MariaDB. Yeah, we have to install the MariaDB here. MariaDB server we have to install, so which uses MySQL, and then we install the MariaDB here, and we have to just enable that MariaDB service. Now we have to update this to just this we have to bind the address to 0.0.0.0. This is the default port. And now the most important part is here. We have to create a database. Create a database on this. What is the name of just a second. What is the name of the database which we have to create? KodeKloud DB6. Actually, the tasks are different. So I have already performed this task, and at that time the database was same. You have to take care that please change the database name accordingly. The time which I have performed this task, it was DB8 actually. So I have written that, but now it's DB6. No problem. Just we can change the task. So uh, it will the database name is db6. It should be present. I have created. Now the name what we have to put is, what is the name of the username? KodeKloud aim. So let's put it KodeKloud aim. This is the name of a user. I'm performing this task now. I'm performing this task now, guys. So, and the password for KodeKloud aim is already given, DCV. This is the password which is given. And for, let me change the password over here. We have to perform this one carefully. Not a single change will destroy your server. And now the privileges will be given to our database server. What is the name? DB6, I think now. Yeah, DB6. So what we are doing, we are giving the all privileges. Star all means here it is written that Xor is really able to perform all operations on the database you created. So for all the servers, we have to give it the star privilege. Guys, please watch my video of day 17 where I have given the privileges manually in the PostgreSQL part. There I haven't used any kind of Ansible or automation. I have just performed all the tasks in the shell scripting. So you can watch that video if you like. So here I am automating this, so you can get the idea of both the way, how you can do it manually or how you can do it with the help of an Ansible automation. Now it should be present, and yeah, this is the default port where we can bind the address of MySQL. Basically MariaDB use also MySQL, so you can bind this. And now we have to install the firewall, which I have installed it. And then we have to enable the firewall. Firstly we have to start it, we have to just install it, and then please remember to enable it. Installation is nothing without enable. So we have to enable this. Like previously I have installed Apache and then I have enabled it, so likewise I have installed a firewall and then enable it. Now we have to ensure that firewall should allow all MySQL connections in the database. So I have enabled that also. And I have restarted the MariaDB. Now the most important part comes here where we have to configure our app servers. So this will install all the packages like HTTPD, PHP on all the app servers. Basically app server 1, app server 2 and app server 3. You can say it is already written that we have to install on all app host. Okay. Uh, Somebody in the chat said, yeah. I'm going to cover that. I am going to cover that. So yeah, now I am coming to your question only, that you are saying that Apache is on port 80. How you can configure it to resume? See, previously I have already told you that how you can do. Just we have to change the configuration file in apache.config. We have to change the HTTPD source service file. So configure that we have to listen, the port should be here given is 3003. Maybe on your task the port may be different. It may be something 5000, 5001, 3, anything. But here it is saying that the Apache, so the default port in which Apache listens is just port 80. We have to change that to 3003 here. So we have to, what is saying, we have to in this path etc http, you can do this default manually as well. In etc httpd conf http.conf, we have to check for regular expression listen. You will find, just go to this path and you will find, just cat this path and that you will find the complete uh, just go for the line listen. Listen, you will see there is already written listen 580. You have to change that 80 to the port which is given here. In this case it is given 3000. So just we have to change it to port as 3003. Done. And then we have to restart the httpd service. It will already change for all the app server, it will change. And it shows that it allows port 5001. No, it should allow the port 3003 in this case. 3003 in this case. And then yeah, the port again we have to change 3003 in this case. It should allow this port, and then we have to create a PHP information page. What is this? This is the page 16 to 39 that if we see, this is the database server. This we have to connect our database server now with the user which we have earlier created. So what the username which we have created is KodeKloud Engineer. So we can do with this, and the password for this is already present over here, and then just change the password. Mhm. Yes, I'm just change the password, and the name of the database is KodeKloud DB6. KodeKloud DB6 done. So we have to create a PHP information page over here, and mode is 0644. That means user can write and the same user group and others. User can read and write. Groups can, I think, read. Yeah. No. Groups can read and execute. Others can read and execute. And then we have to just enable and restart HTTP. This is the complete file playbook which we have written. Let's just save and close this playbook, and then say time permits. Let's run our file commands.sh. Sudo password for Thor. Thor password is what I'm doing now, guys. I am remembering the password. This is the password. Okay, so it has started. What is it? Sorry, try again. Why, guys? Why? Password for Thor, no? Yeah, this is the password for Thor. Why it's saying try again? Yeah, I started. Ansible is already installed, man. Ansible is already installed. EP3 is done. Ansible is started installing. Let's wait for the let's wait for the process to complete. It's installing Ansible. Okay, my god. Ansible is installed. Ansible installation is complete. Now our playbook has started. Now it's installing Python MySQL in all the app server it will install. App server 1, app server 2, app server 3. It will say okay, HTTP 01. This playbook is a little bit big. It may take time because it have to log into all the app servers, and then we have to log into the database server as well. And then after login, we have to install all the things like Apache, and in the database server we have to install MariaDB. Yeah, it has started. It has installing MariaDB server. Where it will install MariaDB, I have written that on the database server. So it must say that it has installed the database server in the it installed MariaDB in which database? In this Peter HTDB 01. It must say that it has installed HTDB 0 MariaDB in the HTDB 01 basically in the database server. This currently it is configuring database server only. Okay, it has installed. Now it is enabling the MariaDB service. It has enabled. Now it is creating database created, creating user with the all privileges. It is created. Now it is installing firewall. Firewall is already installed. Now it is enabling firewall, done. It allows MySQL, done. Now it is configuring app servers. Database server is done. It has configured all the servers using that port. Now it is installing required package like HTTPD, PHP, and all its dependency in all the host it is installing. It has installed HTTP, it has installed PHP in App Server 3. Now it has installed in on App Server 2 it has installed HTTPD. It has on App Server 2 it has installed PHP. On App Server 2 it has installed PHP MySQL. Okay. And on App Server 3 is also done. Now App Server 1 is remaining. Let's wait for the App Server 1. App Server 3 and App Server 2 is already done. Let's wait for App Server 1. Yeah, App Server 1 is also already executing it. HTTPD is installing on App Server 1. PHP is also installing App Server 1. No, it is configuring all lessons. Okay, it's done. Now it is installing firewall D and Python 3 firewall on all the app servers. App Server 2, firewall 1, 2, 3 done. It is now starting and enabling firewall D done. Ensuring firewall allows port 3003 also done. Now it's creating PHP information page. It's also done. Now it says start and enable HTTPD service done automatic. I am not doing anything, guys. These are my hands. I am not doing anything. It has already done on all the app servers and database servers. Let's go to the app server and see whether it is saying this. It's connecting, able to connect. Let's go there. Boom in the chat, guys. App is able to connect with the database using user KodeKloud pop. Boom in the chat, guys. Boom in the chat. It is already displaying app is able to connect using the KodeKloud. Why is saying pop? Okay, okay, I have forgot to change, but this is not an issue. This is not an issue. Let's check it. Let's check it. Let's check. Fingers crossed. Okay, guys. Okay, not an issue. Not an issue. Not an issue, guys. I think that pop is mistakenly written. I have written KodeKloud pop. That is actually the issue. I have to change that KodeKloud name. Okay, not an issue. But this task was previously done. You can easily do this task. There is not. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. We will do it again. It's not a problem. Thanks, you guys. You can do it easily. Perfect. Thank you.